Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Usezwa Elimihe. Do you feel constantly being misunderstood by people? It's like however much you try, people will always misunderstand you. It looks as if there is a you that is in others that is far below the standard of the life that you actually live. It's like by your standards and by your effort, you are here. But by the standard of others, this is where you are. It's like there is no connection between the people's perception of you and your actual self, the actual you that you know. So that when people respond to you, it's like they are responding to someone that doesn't exist. If that is the case, this video is for you. I am Usezwa Anthony Elimihe. You know me, I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. Yes, if you are constantly being misunderstood by people, then there is a little problem, and we are going to solve it today. Because I have been there. I don't know if it has been fully solved, but I have been there for the greater chunk of my life, and I discovered the solution, and I felt we are going to talk about this today. And so here we are. See, there is your dream country, your goal. And then there is where you are, the country you really don't like, the country you want to live. Two countries in one consciousness. And then what has happened is that one of the countries is in your head, is in your consciousness, okay? The other one is in your cells, is in your system, is in your heart, okay? And two of them are just there. At some point, one takes your attention, and then people who are really close to you, they know that you are magnificent. They know that you are just perfect. But people who are not so used to you think that you are a demon, you are something else. Then there are other people too who are not so close to you, who really don't know you. They also think that you are perfect, you are just beautiful and sweet. Why are they having these divergent opinions about you? It is because first impression matters. It depends on where you were when you met them. That is, it depends on which of these two countries you were occupying, you were visiting at the time you met them. This is how it happens. So there is that need for an alignment. I'll tell you this, the old country is always very difficult to exit completely, because that old country is an emotional country. It's a country you have been used to for so long, and at some point in your life you felt, I'm leaving this country for good. I don't want to be there. It's like what happens when you travel to another country. If you have ever experienced it before, you travel to another country, and then there are normal daily chores that you carry out when you wake up in the morning. And then you are in the hotel, actually. Maybe you are somebody who wake up in the morning and you clean your room, clean everywhere. Then just wake up and you want to start doing the chores, and you remember, oh, I am abroad and I'm in a hotel. I don't need to do this. But you see, that country you came from is etched in your psyche. It is in your cells. Your cells, your body, your subconscious is very aware of that country. It is the last to leave that country. Your consciousness has left. So you gradually move away from your subconscious level of mind to the conscious level and say, I'm abroad, I'm not at home. Or when you travel, like when I was in the village as a little boy in the primary school, the first time I left the village to visit my dad in Benin, I was in primary 4. I was asleep in the morning, the first morning, not just the first few mornings of my visit. I would wake up in the morning and I will hear the sound of broom on the floor. I will fly off the bed, because when I was in the village, it was a crime for me to be in bed while my aunts were sweeping. It shouldn't happen. It was a crime that you will be punished for. There's no doubt about that. Sometimes you wish they punished you, but sometimes they will not talk to you. They will just leave you. They will serve you your food, and you know that there is no peace in Israel. But that was what happened. They will remind you later. And when they remind you at that time, it might be the time you are most jolly. They will just spoil your fun. Okay? So once I heard the contact of the broom on the floor, I would jump up. And then, the first time, nobody saw me. And I did say, oh, you are in Benin. You are not in the village. You are in Benin. You are not in Roi. Calm down. Calm down. Here, they do everything for you. So I will go back to bed. There was one particular day like that it happened again, and I flew up from the bed, and my elder brother Lawson saw me. I said, calm down, waiting they do you? I said, they are sweeping, I shouldn't be up. And then he occurred to me. He now said, hey, now Bini, you are in your father's house, you are not in your uncle's house. Here they do everything for you, so relax. I went back to bed to enjoy myself, because in Benin it was all fun. Woke up in the morning, you went out to play with friends, discuss big league soccer, football, all of those things, and then it was just about you play, you come home and eat, and you go back again. Then when it was time for TV in our time, you waited for 4 o'clock on a normal day for TV to start. Then on weekends, you waited for TV to start around 12 or so. You watched on the mat, the wrestling match, and all of those things. That was it. So what I'm trying to put across here is that in our lives, there are always two countries. There are people who live in more than two countries. The ability to move out of the old country and stay rooted in the new country is a very high one. And it requires a lot of practice. It requires a lot of focus. This is why I keep asking us to practice the art of focus. If you focus long enough, if you can stay, if you can keep yourself, your consciousness long enough in your new country, in your new development, your present state of being, over time, your cells, your subconscious form will get used to that new country. It will become easy for you, and you will no longer have that discordance in the whole affair. And how do we do this? But of course, what have I been saying on this channel is about, first, meditating. Meditation will keep you. Some days back, I had some serious issue. I felt as if maybe the universe was deserting me. For just a space of 4 hours, I was really very, very down. So I did an email to a very big spiritual brother in Canada. I told him, this is what I'm going through. After writing the email, I had sent it. It had gone. Then, few minutes after that, I realized that, what is this? I am not the person that cries to people for help. I am a self-helper. Why am I? Do I need to start ranting to other people? But the email was gone. So I just let it go. I sat back and I did my meditation. I became fresher and relieved. Now, days later, the email came back to me. The guy had replied me. He replied me the way he would reply somebody in my position that shouldn't be in that position. I felt very misunderstood. And then I replied him, explaining some things that he didn't get right. And then he replied me and said, now we are having an honest conversation with ourselves. Let's continue from here. Okay. Then in my response, I said, you know what? It wasn't I who wrote that first email. I noticed that over the years, I have two valencies occupying my system with me. And whenever I am not in my center, the faster of the two valencies will take the space and begin to do things that are not me. And whenever I'm able to get myself back, I kick the fucker off my space and I take over. I told him that, I said, the email I replied you about a few minutes ago, it was the Sena Valence that replied that email. Not even the first one I wrote that first email. But now, I am back in my center. This is the real me. And the real me does not run to people for help. The real me does not gripe or complain. Therefore, it occurred to me, how do I keep the real me in place? Because these valencies, when they come into space, they don't stay for more than, sometimes they could stay for a day or two. And in between those times, I will be alternating, coming up and then they pushing me at all of those things. But the truth is, until you are able to kick your valencies off your system, so I don't have control of the wheel, then until that time, man, you are going to keep having misunderstandings. Even you yourself will be misunderstanding yourself. You're going to ask yourself, why, in spite of all that I know, in spite of all my level of experience and everything, how can I be thinking like this? How can I be feeling like this? It is not about what you know. It is about what you practice. And practice can only come by regularity, by repetition. And if you want to stay in that higher country where things are powerful, where things are easier, you have to practice the act of focus. And there is only one thing that grounds you in the art of focusing. It is meditation. It is being aware of where you are at every point in time. And that is why I said in one of the videos to say, create a stable datum that questions your whereabouts. A stable datum that keeps asking, where am I? What am I doing right now? What am I thinking? How am I feeling right now? Then what is the cause? You begin to dissect and ask questions. You begin to question. This is what I want you to know. All the misbehaviors that we human beings misbehave are not done by us. They are done by valencies. Go and watch my video where I talked about valencies. I think there are about 2 videos on valencies. Please watch them so you can understand. I don't have to start explaining it here so that I don't take your time and your data. But the truth is, there are valencies and they come from our traumas from the past. And they are personalities that are forced. They are not us. Therefore, they rule. They use our energy. They use our time. They use our space. In most of the time, they fritter out all our gains of life. We need to control them. We need to pick them by the locks and fling them out. We don't have to be gentle with them. Fling them out the window. Let them know that they don't belong here. But you see one thing about them, they just don't go. They are used to you because you created them. Where else can they go? You have to decreate them. And the process of decreating them is stable datum. You create a stable datum that is contrary to them. Stable datum that watches out for them. And once they see them, say, hey, here you are, and they guzzle them. That's how it goes. When they try and try, they can no longer come in. They can no longer find space. They will just go. But don't think that they are going to go for free. They will not go like that. Christ gave an example. He said, when a demon leaves a person, he said, he goes away, wandering, seeking rest and finding none. He said, then the demon will say, let me go and check my former house. When he returns and finds the former house garnished and swept, as in you've kicked it out and you kept the place clean, but there is nobody in it. Oh my God. He said a demon will go away and go and look for 7 more wicked demons than he, and they will come back to that house and take it over. Oh, he said the end of that person will be worse than the beginning. So if you want to handle your demons, okay, this is how to do it. You have to create a stable datum. Your stable datum now is a new spirit. You know, don't forget that we are spirits and we produce according to our kind. Therefore, our thoughts are our greatest children, our greatest production, and they belong to us. All right. With it, we create our world and create our perceptions, how people see us and everything. So our thoughts are our children. They are our creation. They stick to us like glue. They can't leave us, because where will they go to? Will your children leave you? Okay, so they stick to you like glue. You have to feed them because they are not actually entities. They are born hungry for energy, and they must get energy for you to keep going on. When you start starving them of energy, they will fizzle. Okay, that's how it goes. Therefore, when you create a stable datum, that's a new spirit you've created. The stable datum is your world. Don't forget that the world is a mental image. It is what comes before creation happens. It's a prototype world. It's a prototype reality that you invent from your imagination. All right? Or you pick it from your identity pool and then you install it. Now, your stable datum has to be in direct opposition to what you are kicking out. And you must entrench it in the sense that when you are waking up in the morning and you are leaving your delta, your deep sleep mode, to your theta brainwave mode, stop. Like I always say, stop and feel around. What are you feeling around for? Not the physical space. You are feeling around for your mental space. What are the elements that are there? All the contradictory elements, let them know that they are unwanted. It's like when you live in a house, you send your children packing, to them to leave your house in the evening. In the morning, the children will still hang around hoping that you will change your mind. Maybe daddy or mommy is not serious. He will overlook. He has slept. He must have forgotten. He must have, she must have, he must have, she must have, they must have changed their mind. And then you wake up with a rod. You are going to their room, from one room to the other, checking. Are you people still here? I said, leave my house. That's what you are doing at that time. So as you wake up in the morning, you are checking within your subconscious space. What are those feelings? What are those thoughts that are still there, that you have kicked out with their beliefs? And then you tell them, go. You don't really face them and say, hey, you go away. That's not what you do. What you do is that those stable data that you have created to checkmate all these things, you reinforce them. You empower them. You breathe life into them because they are your children. They are your spirit children. So you give them power. They are your words, okay? You give them power. Affirm that I am with you guys. So they have power to edge out the negativities that you have decided to remove. And then when you come back to your alpha brainwave mode moment, take a seat, shut your eyes, and then meditate. You meditate for as long as you want to do it. You do your meditation. Some people do 1 hour, some people do 15 minutes, some people do 5 minutes, but make sure that it is a meditation that takes you out of this physical space. You are training your cells and your subconscious and even your conscious mind on the higher life, on the unseen world, not these physical ones that are perishable. You are now taking them into the non-perishable, the ideal, the eternal, and the undying, uncreated realities. And when you finish with your meditation, you can then decide to go into your gratitude journal. You have completed a day's experience, and then you step up boisterous. There is no demon that can affect you at that time. You grow. So this idea of having conflict in your perception has to start with you. You must also be one. Like my master will say, be good, do good, be one. That's how it is. You have to become one. Single entity, not multiple. Some people say, I contain multitude. Yes, you contain multitude of dimensions, multitude of possibilities, multitude of worlds, multitude of agents that are aligned to your truth. So what we are talking about is that there must be an alignment between your person, your goal. There must be a head to heart alignment. All right? Your feeling must connect with your thinking. At that level, we say a prince has returned home. He has left exile. Okay? Come out of that. Instead of feeling bad about how people misinterpret you, they don't just know me. I don't know why they are thinking about me like this. No, is the weak way to go about it, is to ask yourself, how do I align my thoughts? How do I align my energies to become one? There's a video I did on energy alignment. Yes. Okay, well, it will be on your screen. Don't worry. Like they say, the price of freedom is perpetual vigilance. Don't leave the rein. You can't be riding on a horse and remove your hand from the bit and just let it be going. You are going to be thrown off. You hold the bit It's not just for your balance, it's also for control. Stay in control. Wake up stepping into your control. Walk about being conscious of your control. Affirm your stable data on every aspect of your life. All things will be sorted for you and you become one. And when you become one, the world will see it. And I tell you one thing, don't be a coward. Whatever it is you are doing, I desire that you be healthy, that you be strong, that you be alive, that you are not tied to some strings, some medical strings that keep you going, that you cannot live your life without being stuck on medication. I don't want you to become a victim of stress. Therefore, you have to be aligned. So your heart and your head must cohere. They must agree on that thing you want to do, and you do it. But remember, for everything that you do is an action. It's karma, and karma comes with karma. That's consequences too. So you'll be able to bear it. But stay healthy, stay strong. God bless you.